Hello again. This is Entropy 666.
And this is Lucifera.
Good evening out there. We have decided to talk about something that might be a bit of a surprise to some of you. We are going to be speaking about the mystic revelations that are found in the Star Wars movies, as well as the books and so on. It's a very large pantheon of universal understanding and knowledge. Believe it or not, Star Wars, although many of you think it's probably just for kids, is full of a lot of mystic revelations, and that is what we are going to discuss tonight. To quote Obi-Wan Kenobi, "Well, the Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It is an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together."
Speaking of the Force, everything is made up of energy. So, and we are at one with this, and this is what you can call God. In the New Age movement, we are all one and God.
What the Force teaches us comes from Zen Buddhism. Now, I am a Zen Buddhist. I'm not going to get into a lot of the history of myself and Star Wars. I do remember when Star Wars came out. A lot of you probably don't, back in '77. And it influenced me. The thing is, I didn't regain my love for Star Wars until after I committed to Zen Buddhism. I realized shortly afterwards that the Force was based on Zen. And that's true. I mean, you can look this up yourself. George Lucas, for whatever reason, being raised a Catholic, decided to base the entire religion around Star Wars on Zen Buddhism. So when they say that the Force is something that surrounds us, that penetrates us, and binds us, it is nothing new for a Zen Buddhist. It's part of who we are. The thing is, people keep looking for outside themselves to try to figure out what God is. You don't have to look outside yourself. It's already within you. It's already within you. This is a basic tenet of Buddhism, Zen Buddhism.
The divine comes not by observation, but comes from within. Even the Christ taught this.
When you look at what the Christ taught, I mean, really, you look at him telling people to draw upon themselves, not to look beyond themselves. With the faith of a grain of a mustard seed, I'll find the verse here. With the faith of the grain of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. He does not state in there that if you have faith in God, if you have faith in me, he just says faith. So we have potential as human beings that is beyond what most Christians and most churches, whether they be Christian or whether they be other, teaches you.
Even the Christ said, you will do as I do and even more. We'll find that verse as well. So this tells you that we are very powerful and we have been dumbed down.
I want to take this in a sort of a different place here for a minute. We have to remember, despite the fact that we constantly refer to ourselves as gods, we are gods, that we have to have within ourselves the humility to understand that the fact that we are gods does not mean that we are somehow great, that we are somehow greater than others. If you aspire to be great, you never will be. Really, in my opinion. But if you aspire to be good, a good person, then you will be great. Now, speaking again about the Star Wars universe, I don't think that it would be in much contention that the greatest of the Jedi was Yoda. Yoda, I think, I don't even think that's arguable, that Yoda was the greatest Jedi there was. So let's look back. Let's look back at Empire Strikes Back, when we first meet this character, Yoda. He is living in a swamp in darkness, and he is certainly not this great, powerful being that you would expect. I will find the quote here. Luke, who does not know that he has met Yoda in the swamp of Dagobah, says that he is looking for a great warrior. Yoda says, wars do not make one great. It is in humility that we truly find ourselves. Until you have lost yourself, you cannot know who you truly are. This is a basic premise of Buddhism, Zen Buddhism to be specific when it comes to the Star Wars religion. It is based on Zen Buddhism. You can look this up yourself. George Lucas based it on Zen Buddhism.
Let's talk about the dark side here for a minute. Now, in order to see the light, you must know the dark. If you want to know the light, you must know the dark. Both sides have a part to play in the universe, the light and the dark. In every incarnation, we play both sides. So never condemn the light or the dark. They are as they are. They're, in the grand scheme of things, there is no good and there is no evil. It just is.
If you look in the history of Zen Buddhism, it is based on Taoism. Zen, more than any other of the Buddhist sects, is based on Taoism. Taoism teaches that there is light and there is darkness, the yin and the yang, and the two have to be together in order for you to see things clearly. So, we will get into the dark side of the Force and discuss that.
This is a quote from Palpatine talking to Anakin. If one is to understand the great mystery, one must study all its aspects, not just the dogmatic, narrow view of the Jedi. If you wish to become a complete and wise leader, you must embrace a larger view of the Force.
To be personal about Lucifera and I, we have both embraced a dark side ourselves. We have, in the past, we have embraced a satanic faith, a satanic way of looking at things. The truth of the matter is, if you are only coming from one perspective or the other, you do not truly understand the larger perspective. You don't understand the perspective that makes up the different aspects of the universe. For whatever reason, George Lucas, being born and raised a Catholic, embraced Zen Buddhism for his movies about this religion called the Force. I personally feel that Star Wars was given to us at a time when we most needed it to reflect a future that is really it is now. It is now. Let's metaphorically look at the Christians. Darth Vader became more of a machine than a man. There are people out there who are embracing this idea of transhumanism, this idea that they can become immortal with the help of technology. And I look at these Christians, and even just, not literally, they're not literally taking the technology, but they are metaphorically, because they are becoming less and less human as the days and months and years go by. I have had more arguments with Christians who curse and fight with me, and it's mind-boggling to me that these people actually believe that somehow they are superior, that somehow they are destined to this great heavenly realm where they will rule over other people. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. These people are so inferior to any other human being.
You have Christians and Jews called the chosen ones, and then you have the Nazis, you have the master race, you have the 1,000-year reign of Christ and his saints, and then you have a 1,000-year Reich for Hitler. So you see there's a lot of similarities between them and the Nazis. So Christians are very much like the Nazis. Our Christianity is very much like the Nazis.
And the Emperor, Palpatine, if that doesn't remind anybody who's not a Christian of their God, Jehovah, Yahweh, I mean, come on. Look at him. Look at this hate-filled being who looks at the entire universe, the galaxy. I am going to bring order. I am going to bring order. I am going to bring order. That is what this God, this Jews, these Christians, these Muslims serves. The Abrahamic religions are the scourge of this planet. If I haven't said that already, which I'm sure I have. Just because the light and the darkness exist does not mean that us who are of the light, who are light bringers, cannot fight against this darkness that pervades in this world. It is a scourge, and it wants to trample down and get rid of the idea that you and I have this Buddha nature, this God nature, that is within us. And all we really have to do is bring it out. The Christian church, the Jewish and the Muslim church, the Abrahamic religions, and other religions, I guess, as well, but specifically those, are doing everything they can to trample down, to get rid of any idea, call it blasphemy, any idea that you and I are capable of so much more. And the Bible itself is replete with this God going against man to stop them from advancing to a higher state of consciousness.
I'd like to mention another thing too, that a lot of the Christians, they say that Lucifer hates us. Lucifer hates us. But look who really hates humanity. It is Yahweh. Just read your Bible carefully.
This entity called Lucifer is barely even mentioned in the Bible. One passage. But we have discussed this before. The thing is, this Lucifer consciousness, Christ consciousness, this Buddha nature is within all of us. And whether you call it the Force, whether you call it the universe, whether you call it some kind of pantheism where God is in everything, the truth of the matter is, it's not it's difficult for me to say you are all gods, plural, because the truth of the matter is you're not all gods. You're all God. We are one in this, folks. And even the Darksiders, even the Christians, even people who are against us, eventually, it's going to take a while, but eventually they will come to this understanding. And that is the fight that we fight, that those who are out there who want to condemn us for who we are. Well, Star Wars is a symbolic representation of who we truly are. You look within yourself, folks, and stop looking at things like this, like Star Wars, and saying, "Oh, it's just for kids. Oh, it's just for kids. I'm not even going to watch this. I'm not even going to get into it." There is a basis. There is a real strong mystical understanding within the movies, within the whole pantheon of the Star Wars universe. And we've only scratched the surface here. I would like for those out there to look into this themselves and find the understanding that that this fictional force is not fictional at all. The force is something that resides within all of us, and it is something that strengthens us and makes us who we are. We are so much more than this. We are so much more than we are told we are by these Abrahamic religions. And it's been a little while since Lucifera and I have put together a video, and I think this one worked out well. I hope that you all see where we're coming from. And, well, it is 8 o'clock at night Pacific time.
Oh, one last thing too. I'm going to be making another video on a similar topic, so stay tuned.
Well, alright. This being evening time, good evening to all of you, and I hope that you have garnered something from our little video here. This is Entropy signing out.
This is Lucifera signing out, and good night.